So a father was overhearing his little boy talking on the phone, and he hears him say, "Sir, I was calling to see if you need someone to do your yard, in lawn service." "Oh, really? Oh, you already have someone doing it." "You do? Okay, well, is it to your satisfaction?" "Okay. Well, I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you for giving me the time. Bye, sir." And he hangs up the phone. His dad says, "Oh, son, I'm sorry you didn't get the work." He said, "Oh, no, I already got that account. I was calling to check and see how I'm doing." That is what I think is so important for all of us in our lives, is to call in within ourselves and check and see how we are doing. How are we doing? How are we being? How are we exemplifying the energy of consciousness? How are we expressing? For a number of years, I've been a strong advocate about us going out in the community. Many of you have as well. Many of you came here already doing projects in the community. But I also believe there's a time that we bring the community in here. I believe that there's a time that we bring people and programs and experiences here that can transform people's lives, because we know here we have the formula that will empower a person to be a leader, that can transform their personal life, their family's life, and everybody that's related in any particular way. Yes, do you agree with that? I find it fascinating that so many people I've heard through the years say, well, in unity, we don't really believe in conditions. And I think to myself, that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life. Unity was founded because the founder, Myrtle Fillmore, had a condition. And she said, "I have this condition, and I believe that I am a child of God, and I don't need to inherit it, and I know that I can overcome it." But she had tuberculosis. She had the diagnosis then that people have now known as arthritis or cancer or those type of things, severe diabetes. She had what killed people then, tuberculosis. And she said, "I believe that with this condition, I can transform this condition into something that's greater than anybody can possibly know." But she saw the condition, she said hello to it, and she said, "You will not be living with me long term." People running out there telling people they don't have a condition. Give us a break. Let's be intelligent about intelligence. We are human beings, yes? The thing is not that we don't have conditions. The thing is that a condition can transform and change and go back to where it belongs to, and it doesn't have to stay with us. I am here because I had a condition. I am here because unity transformed that condition that kills many people, but it brought me back to life. What about you? Are you here because a condition has transformed you? And I want everybody to have that, you see. Everybody. My two friends, Carol and Sharon, they were driving from North Carolina back to Florida. And around Savannah, in their van, they see a car coming at a fast speed and not going to stop at a stop sign. And fortunately, they swerved over, and the car then hit them. Fortunately, not on the absolute side, but it totaled the van. And so they went and they rented a vehicle. And they felt like, because of what they'd just gone through, they went, "I don't think this vehicle's big enough." So they went and rented another vehicle. So they're in this huge SUV, the kind you can't see up there to see what people are driving. But they're driving down, and they start hearing a cat. And they say to each other, "You hear a cat?" "Yeah, I hear a cat." And they pull the car over, because it's like, well, let's try to find the cat. And they move the luggage, and they look around, and they see they can't find the cat. "But you hear a cat, right?" "Yeah, I hear a cat." They pull into the Nissan dealership. and said, would you please look, there's a cat in here. And they go, well, we can't find a cat. Don't get me going with that. Okay, so anyway, so they drive all the way back to Florida, pull up in the driveway, they still hear a cat. They invite a couple of neighbors over. Finally, somebody climbs up under and goes where they know to go, and they find a little 5.5-week-old kitten at the rear axle of the vehicle. Now, here's this little kitten in all this stormy weather that has made this ride all the way back to Florida. So there's a few morals to this story. One is, when you hear a noise, it doesn't matter that no one else can't hear it. You understand that? When you hear a noise, it doesn't matter. Don't try to validate by, do you hear it, don't hear it. And you hear a noise, it's real. If you're hearing a noise right now and you own it, it will lead to something significant in your life. Yes. And finally, when we talk about life itself and the power of that intelligence, can you imagine what that little kitten had, that desire to live, that held on there, going 65 miles an hour from there to Florida? And you wonder if we can overcome those one or two simple things in our lives. You see, I believe we can. Yes. Yes. And I believe we will. And I believe we must, you see, because it's crucial to own that and that space so that everybody around us can be empowered. People are not empowered around you with you talking about being empowered. Because when you're empowered, you don't have to talk about it. People just want more of what you're doing. They want more of what you're being. And stop, for goodness sake, saying that you can't tell anybody where you work and you can't tell anybody in your family that you go to Unity. Every one of them are home this morning watching Oprah Winfrey on the television, wishing they knew about a place like this that they could come to. Amen? People are ready to be transformed. In everything you read and everything you hear, it is a cry saying, give me something so I can become a self-actualized person. I'm craving it. I'm longing for it. I keep having problems so I can prove to myself I don't have to have them, you see. You think about that Bible story of Jonah. He heard a voice. He heard a noise. Didn't he? And God said, go to Nineveh. I got it. Reverend Don, I got it. I knew he was like, no, that's not how I said it. I'm Southern. It's coming. Jonah, go to Nineveh. Go there, Jonah. And Jonah heard the noise. He knew that there's more than comforting the afflicted. It was important to afflict the comfortable. Yes? Yes? But what did Jonah do when he heard the noise? He said, I'm not doing it. Like some of those noises some of you are hearing out there, he denied that noise. He pretended like he didn't hear it, and he went and got on the boat. And what happened after that? I mean, a big old whale swallowed him. You know? He went on to become vegan. You understand that? After 3 days in a well, you would go vegan, just naturally, okay? People, I love you. I serve with you. But this is more than having a good time on Sunday. There are whales in our society that need tending to. There are too many suicides going on. And just because more people are doing it doesn't mean that it's necessary in the first place for it to ever happen. Because though they exit out, from whatever reason they exit out, they take their life lessons with them. We do not ever in our karma get to avoid the noise in our lives, you see. So we do it here willingly, or we resist so it can persist, or we take it to the other wherever and we're doing it somewhere else, you see. So it's that place. We have too many people either taking their lives or never living their lives, because they have been programmed that as teenagers, it's not okay if you're gay, you know, you're a different color of skin, and people are going, there's no such thing as racism. Well, get with the program. Okay, don't say there's not a condition. Say, yes, there's a condition. But collectively, we are going to transform the condition, because there's more to life than just telling someone they're okay. We have to support them to be okay within their own being. And don't tell me that those people can't change, because that's what people said about me and about people like you. Don't say those people can't change that are in jail and having problems and having issues and having challenges. Don't say that. Say, I believe that a change is coming. And I'm part of it, because I'm owning it. And I'm dedicating my life now to being spot on to what I'm called to do. Like little kitty Savannah, I got this. Show how little that kitten is, would you? People spend so many years of their life overcoming something, and then they're so happy they did, and then they go to birthday parties and celebrate and have big cake. You have something so you can overcome it, so you can invite it to a community and offer it and transform other people. It's called paying it forward. You see, it's called completing a circle, and every time you live through that circle, you heal, reveal, you get to a greater place. It is the teacher archetype that is called forth. Leaders, true leaders, aren't looking for followers. I'm not looking for anybody to follow me. That's not an invitation to me at all. I'm looking for leaders to lead beside me and exceed me and go further than I've ever been able to go, because that's what it's all about. We're not here to feed our egos. We're here to serve our Creator in the grandness and glory. Too many leaders in their pathetic insecurities are trying to find a bunch of people following around. Oh, you're so beautiful, wonderful. You know. You want to impress me? Be impressed about yourself. Get clean, get sober, get awake, and offer that to your family, to your friends, and to everybody that you know own your stuff. And in its divine, it changes. You know, C.S. Lewis said that you look at that egg, it takes a lot for a bird, a winged creature, to birth out of an egg. It takes quite a bit. You see, and you can't visualize that egg. Can you imagine eggs flying all through the air? I think when I was in the influence, I might have seen some of those. But anyway, back on point. So eggs don't fly by themselves, right? They're not complete yet. But they must hatch first. Because if they don't hatch, they go bad. It's time for us to hatch. It's time for all of us to hatch in a broader, bolder, more bodacious, more herd way. Yes? Yes. It's time to hatch so we can fly. Thank you for being here today. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.